Hey, I'm Megan. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Before we begin, I want to address a couple of different things. First of all, I've had some people ask me how come I don't play music on my videos. Well, the truth is, I actually do play music while I am taping them because I enjoy music while I practice. So sometimes you'll see my head bobbing around. I found something in that moment I'm really enjoying. And I don't play music on the videos for a few different reasons, but mainly because I want you to be able to choose music that you really enjoy. So I invite you to find some music you really like, turn it on while you're enjoying practice. Also for today's practice, I will be using a block. If you don't have one, no problem. You can get around it. You can use something else like a pillow or a book, but if you don't want to use anything, that's fine too. Also, in just today's practice, I am using 3-pound weights only for the abdominal section of practice. So the rest of practice is without it. But these are just for the abdominal part of it. You are welcome to use weights if you have them. If you don't have them, no worries. You'll still get a lot of benefit out of that part of the practice, even without the weights. And then of course, finally, if you are enjoying this video or any of my other videos, I invite you to subscribe and then click on the little bell right next to subscribe. And that's how you will be notified when new videos come up. So thanks again for practicing with me. I hope you enjoy today's practice. Hello, welcome to your mat. My name is Meghan Coy. We'll begin in seated today. So find a comfortable seat on your mat. I'm sitting up on a block. You can sit on a cushion or all the way down, whatever is most comfortable for you and allows your shoulders to sit back over the hips. Soften your shoulders down your back, let your eyes close, and start to send that breath deep into the belly. Very slow, very controlled inhales and exhales. So setting up the breath that we will continue throughout the entire length of practice. Even as the heart rate goes up, we stay with this same breath. Letting go of anything else that's distracting you, bring your awareness fully to your body, to your mat. All right, let's make our way into tabletop here. And we're going to start with a little wiggle of the hips side to side here. And then as you're ready, start to add in the shoulders, the mid-back, the neck. So the entire length of the spine, moving, snaking side to side. Good. Come to center, moving into cow pose, belly down, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale into cat pose. Really round that back, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, cow pose, gaze is up, tailbone up. Exhale, slowly move into cat. Pull navel into spine. Again, inhale, cow pose. And then exhale into cat. Good. Now we're going to move into big circles here. So dropping the belly down, moving it to the right, and then drawing it up. So moving nice big circles, and take the other direction as well. Good. Really beginning to open up that space between each vertebra along the spine. Back to a neutral spine here, moving into a spinal balance or bird dog. You reach the right hand forward, left leg back. Pull navel up and in. We're going to hold here and breathe. So staying with those long, slow, deep breaths, push into your grounded hand and into your grounded knee. Good. Spread the lifted toes, reach them back even further. Good, release. Transitioning to the other side now, left hand forward, right leg back. As you get settled in, pull the navel up into the spine, push down into your right hand, push down into the left knee. So we're coming out of the shoulder and the hip sockets there. Reach fingertips forward, toes back. Get as long as you can. Lift a little higher. Breathe. And release. Good. Moving into downward facing dog. So first one of the practice today, invite your body into this first downward facing dog. So maybe moving a little here, bending one knee and then the other, little hips side to side, whatever feels best to you here. And then as you settle in, drive the heels down as the tailbone pulls up. Push into your hands, pressing your chest towards your thighs, always staying with our breath. Good. Walk your feet to the top of your space. Feet are hip bones distance apart. Find a halfway lift and then a forward fold. Okay, root down, rise all the way up, reach up. And hands come to heart center. Good. Inhale, reach up, moving into our sun salutation. Exhale, forward fold. Find a halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, step back to a high plank and then lower all the way down, moving into cobra pose. Tops of the feet, press them down, hip bones distance apart. Tuck the elbows into the ribs and then lift up through the head and chest. Good. So we're not using our hands to press up. I want you to use the muscles along the spine as well as the abdominals to lift the chest up. Good. Release down, curl toes under, press to high plank and downward facing dog. Good. Breathe here. So today's practice will only be doing one sun salutation A. And move into our next phase here. Find a halfway lift as you inhale at the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Sit back into your heels. Drop the hips down. Good. Relax your shoulders and breathe. Slide the shin bones back just a little bit. There you go. Forward fold. Halfway lift is your inhale. This time, chaturanga as you exhale. Remember, elbows graze the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift thighs and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Now as you inhale, lift that right leg up and back. Hold here and breathe. Press the left heel down, push into your hands and lift the right leg a little higher. Now our hips are level here, so drop the right hip down. Good. Now as you exhale, step that right foot between your hands. Warrior one is where we're headed. So each foot should have its own side of the mat. You may want to shorten the stance a little bit. Back heel comes down and rise up. Good. Both hip bones should be pointing straight ahead here. So if you need to, bring hands to hips and make sure that they are doing that. Pushing into the heels, soften your shoulders. Breathe. So at the beginning here, we'll be holding each posture for an extended period of time, building heat, building stamina and endurance, and building strength. Good. Release the hands to the mat. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to do the left side now, so lift that left leg up. Press the right heel down as you lift the left leg a little higher. Push into your hands. Beautiful job. Nice long lines here. On your exhale, step that left foot between the hands. Back heel drops down, warrior one. Again, setting up your feet so that you can get both hips pointing straight ahead and the back heel rests on the mat. So you may want to walk the back foot forward or out to the side a little bit more. And each side can move differently. That's okay. Pull your navel in and draw those lower ribs in towards the spine. Soften your shoulders as you reach up. Always breathing with intention. Good. Release the hands to the mat. Step back for chaturanga. We'll cycle through into downward facing dog. Remember, you can always skip chaturangas holding your high plank or do them on your knees. Right leg lifted up and back. Inhale. Exhale, step the foot between your hands. Warrior one is your inhale. And then we'll open to warrior two on an exhale. Hold here and breathe. Adjust your stance to get into warrior two. Front heel lines up with back arch of the back foot. Good. Sit deep in the front knee. Nice strong arms here as you reach forward and back. Breathe. Release hands to the mat. Step your foot back. Chaturanga through. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Good. Left leg is next. Inhale, reach it up and back. Exhale, slowly step it between your hands. Back heel down. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale to warrior two. Hold here and breathe. Good. So finding all of those pieces that we found on the other side, making sure the feet are set up correctly. The front knee is bent deeply, but never past the toes or even past the ankle. We want that knee stacked right on top. Open it up towards the pinky toe side of that foot. And breathe. Good, you're almost there. Release, hands to the mat, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, right leg up and back, inhale. Exhale, step between the hands, rise up. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Hold here and breathe. This is a great chance to really connect with this posture. Sitting deep in the front knee. Push into the knife edge of the back foot. Got very little weight in that back hand. And reach the front arm up and back, really opening along the right side of the torso here. Beautiful. Find your breath. Release, hands to the mat, step back, chaturanga if you're doing them, cycle through into downward facing dog. Beautiful, left side, inhale. Exhale, step between the hands. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior, hold here and breathe. Good. This is a side bend here, not a back bend. So you really want to turn your torso towards the side here so that you can reach up and stretch along the left side of the body. Really feeling each space, the space between each rib on that left side. But being careful not to collapse into the right side. Release your hands to the mat, cycle through. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. Right leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, step between the hands. Warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Extended side angle on your exhale. Hold here and breathe. So in this posture, that right arm, the one that's on the bottom, that's not resting on the thigh, right? We've got nice long torso here, straight lines. Bring the elbow just in front of the knee there. Good. Push into the pinky toe side of that back foot. Stay deep in your front knee. Reverse triangle. Now we get to release the front knee. Reach up, reach back, and then hands to the mat. Step back, chaturanga through. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Left side. Inhale it up and back. Exhale, step through. Warrior one. Inhale. Warrior two. Exhale. Reverse warrior. Inhale. Extended side angle. Exhale. Hold and breathe. Drop both shoulder blades down the back here. So always, even as we fatigue, staying with the integrity of the posture. So if that means you need to bend the knee a little bit less, then do that. Stay with the integrity of each posture. Remembering that your mind, it'll give up before your body. Let's find reverse triangle. Straighten the front leg, reach up and back. Chaturanga through. We'll meet in downward facing dog. We're going to cycle through this one more time, but this time it'll be one breath to one movement. Inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Exhale, step between your hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale. Exhale, step between the hands. Warrior one, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Reverse warrior, inhale. Extended side angle, exhale. Reverse triangle, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Well done. Good. So feel any changes that may have occurred here in your down dog. Opening up a little bit more as our body heats up. And make your way to the top of your space here. Feet hip bones distance apart. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise all the way up to Tadasana. Inhale. Hands come to heart center. Good. So moving into our next phase here, I want you to lift the left knee up. Good. So we're really grounded through that right leg. Take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Rotate into a gentle twist, reaching back with the left hand. Very gentle here. Good. Come back to center. Hands to the hips, straighten the front leg and lift that heel up. Good. Stay there and breathe. Lift a little higher if you can. And then step it back, coming all the way into crescent moon. So drop the back knee, arms reach up. Yes, so check in with the front knee, make sure it's over the ankle as you draw your hips down and forward. Bring hands to heart center and then twist to the right, so left elbow on top of or outside of the right knee. Hands are pressing together in prayer, working the sternum towards those thumbs, but never forcing a twist here. We want to effort, but not force. Come back to center, top of your foot presses into the mat. Press into the top of your foot and lift the knee. Hold and breathe. Yes, you can. Tailbone draws down. Good. Drop the knee down, curl the back toes under, rise up into crescent lunge. Beautiful. Transitioning the arms, eagle arms, left arm under the right. And then launch it forward into full eagle, left leg over the right. Draw the hips down. Sit your shoulders back as you lift the elbows up, hands away from your face. Breathe. Bring your gaze to one particular place. Keep it right there. That'll help you with your balance. And release. Come to standing. Take just a moment here to take in what has just happened and then let it go. Let's move into the other side. Root down through the left foot. Lift the right knee up now. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Reach the right hand back. Standing really tall here as you find a little twist to the right. And then come back to center. Hands down at your sides, reach that right leg straight out. Lift it up a little higher, staying tall. Yes, transitioning into crescent moon. Drop the back knee down, reach the arms up. So stretching here on the right hip flexor. Bring hands in prayer to heart center. Take a breath in and then find your twist now to the left. Keep working the hips down and forward as you get into this twist. Breathe. Come back to center, hands to the hips, press the top of your foot into the mat and lift your knee up. Hold, breathe. Good. Release it down, curl the back toes under, rise up into crescent lunge. And then we move into eagle arms here. Right arm under the left, elbows up, then launch, bringing right leg over the left. Take your time to get there. Good. Slide the hips down and breathe. Balance can be a tricky thing. Some days are better than others. And also in this posture, it can be hard to get deeper, but once you get deeper, your balance actually will be a little bit better as you get lower to the ground. And release, coming into standing again, taking in what just happened, and then letting it go. It's in the past, doesn't matter now. So if you have weights, go ahead and grab hold of them. We're going to move into our core work here. Feet hip bones distance or a little wider apart. One arm stays at the side. The other arm, you're going to goal post it, so it's at 90 degrees. Then reach up and over. So the arm that's at your side is going to draw closer to the knee. Good. Now, as you do this, if you have a weight in your arm, reach up more than you reach over. So I don't want the weight to come over to the side too much. Reach up and slightly over. If you don't have a weight, you can really take the arm up and over. Good. Keep it up. Breathing as you move here. Getting into the obliques. Rooting down firmly through both feet. Release that side. Let's do the other side. Reach up and over. Good. So working that left hand and weight down closer to the knee each time. Notice the hips are moving as well. Stay with it. This is when, if you have some music, it's nice to have something that gives you a little bit more of a beat, especially as we move to the floor for our core. Good, almost there. And release. Go ahead and have a seat on the mat. If you have your weights, keep them with you. Coming into boat pose, keep the chest lifted. Sit back a little bit, lift the feet up off of the mat. Arms are straight. So we're going to straighten the legs and then bring the arms up. Good, pulling everything back to center. Staying lifted here through the chest. If this is too much with the weights, you can take them out. Just put them down next to you. And if it's too much with the arms, you can bring your arms to your sides or hands at heart center. Good. Stay lifted in the chest. Breathe. Almost there. You've got this. Excellent job. You're finished with that. Put one of your weights down. Hold on to the other one. We're going to come into a side plank. Now for this one, I want to stagger my feet. So the top foot is going to come in front of the bottom. Reach the top arm up. And then you're going to rotate the shoulders as you bring the weight down. Arms stay straight. Good. Hips are lifted the whole time. Nice and high. Good. If you're looking for more of a balance challenge here, you can stack your feet one on top of the other. But always remembering this is not just the arm moving. The shoulder drops. You're actually rotating along the torso here. Good. Hand is slightly in front of the shoulder on the ground here so that you're not right on top of it. Remember to breathe. And done. Let's do the other side now. I had to take a minute there, pull myself together. All right, let's do the other side. Set it up, reach up, and then rotate. Now again, if you don't have a weight for this, no problem. This can very easily be done without a weight. And you'll still get a lot of benefit from it. Good. Control the movement. So ensure that you're not taking in a lot of momentum here. We want to very controlled. Take it down and up. When you come up, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Remember to breathe. Hips stay lifted, almost there. Stay with it. And you're done. Beautiful job. Go ahead and put your weights to the side. Shake out those shoulders. That feels really good because you just worked hard. You're going to have a seat down on your heels here and interlace the hands at your low back. Crown of your head down to the mat. Lift those hips up and work that one fist up and over. So stretching out through the shoulder girdle here. If this is too hard to bring your head down to the mat, you can just do this with your hips on your heels and lift that one fist up behind you, opening up through the chest. And release. All right, so let's get set up for our next phase of practice here. Back into downward facing dog. Again, feeling any opening that's happening here throughout your practice. It's always good to notice any little bits of progress that we make, any change that occurs. Go ahead and walk your feet to the top of your space. Find a halfway lift and then a forward fold. Rise all the way up, reach up, and hands to heart center. Good. So we're going to move into dancer's pose here. Left side first. So right arm comes up. Take hold of the left foot. And remember, your palm faces the arch of your foot. Draw your knees together and then kick back and dance. That left shoulder should feel very open. If it feels like it's restricted, then I would invite you to take a look at whether you've rotated your hand or shoulder here. Kick into your hand, chest stays lifted, gaze is lifted, your chest will follow your gaze, so bring it up. Good, take it to your edge, we are not here long. Step it back, warrior one. Good job, beautiful transitions here. Settle into that warrior one, make sure the hips are pointing straight ahead, back heel is down. Interlace hands at the low back, moving into humble warrior here. Diving forward, drawing the right shoulder just inside the right knee. Pull the chin into your chest. This will activate the thyroid. So if you do already have an overactive thyroid, I would keep the chin away from your chest, but otherwise pull it right in. Keep pressing the back heel down and pull the back heel down and pull the right hip back. Yeah, stay deeply bent in the front knee. Breathe, even if the breaths are a little less full. Good, rise all the way back up into warrior one. I've grabbed onto my block there, placed it just inside my foot. Straighten the front leg, maybe shorten the stance a little bit. Right hand to the right hip crease, pull it back, and then reach as long as you can. Keeping that length in the spine, place the left hand down right under the shoulder. Now bring your back hand on top of the sacrum there. I want that sacrum to be so flat we can place a glass of water there, it doesn't spill. Rotate the left ribs, the bottom ribs, towards the front leg and reach the right arm up. So finding a revolved triangle here. Good. That block is there because it brings the floor a little closer to me, but if you don't need it, that's just fine. You can also place your hand on your shin or your foot. Okay, launching into reverse dancers here. I'm going to take that block with me a little bit, bend my back knee, take hold of it with my right hand, and then carefully, slowly rise up into reverse dancers. So right hand to left foot. Kick the left foot into your hand. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, breathe. Almost there. All right, release, come to standing. Let's take a moment here. Breathe it in and let it go. Move into the other side now. So dancers on the right side now, take hold of the arch of the right foot, left arm reaches up, take a breath in, then kick back and dance. Staying lifted through gaze and chest. Now, you want to keep that right hip down so the hips are even with one another. It's tempting to open that hip up because then we feel like we can kick into it more. But the integrity of the posture requires that right hip to be even with the left. Good. Release into warrior one, nice and slow. Get the hips situated so they're pointing straight ahead. Interlace hands at the low back. Humble warrior is next, so bow forward. Back heel stays to the mat here. Left shoulder inside that left knee if you can. Chin to chest. Bend the front knee a little deeper as you pull the left hip back a little more. This posture has us thinking about a lot of things, and it's definitely challenging, but stay with it. Keep checking in and make sure you've got everything right where you need it to be. Release, rise up. I got that block just in front of my front foot right now. Pyramid pose, so left hand to the left hip, pull that left hip back, reach up with the right arm, and then hinge at the hips. Nice long flat back here. Once you are as long as you can, place the right hand down on the block. Level out with the sacrum here. So hand on the low back to sacrum. Make sure it's level, pulling the left hip back a little more. And then rotate those bottom ribs towards the front leg. Reach up now with the left hand. Good. Breathe. Moving now into reverse dancer. So take that block with you, keeping the hand under the shoulder. Grab hold of the back foot with your left hand. Slowly rise up. Reverse dancers, kick into your hand. Breathe. Yes, you can. Stay with it. Good. Release. Beautiful job. Take a moment here. Breathe it in. And let it go. Reach the arms up. Big breath in. Exhale. Bow forward. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale. Step it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So now moving into dolphin pose, bring your forearms down to the mat, elbows under the shoulders. Forearms look like the number 11, and then walk those toes in a little bit more if you can. You're going to push into the elbows here, bringing your face and chest away from the floor. Now I'm taking my left hand and wrapping it at my low back. So this is a one-armed dolphin. This is a great way to build some strength. If you're not ready for this, keep both forearms down. All right, left forearm comes back down, and then we're going to switch and lift the right arm behind the back. Again, only if the strength is there for you. If you are in pain or shaking too much and this simply is not working, please come out of it. No gold stars for hurting yourself in yoga. All right, both forearms back down, staying here, pushing into the elbows. Good. Release the knees down, finding embryo pose here. Palms up by your feet. Let your shoulders soften down. Letting it go. Good, release, come on up, rolling up. All right, so now we're going to take hold of a block if you have it, and if you like to use it, you can place it between your thighs. We're going to do camel. So I'm actually going to keep it between my thighs and squeeze onto it, curling my back toes under. And then take one arm, big circle back, hand into the back pocket, and then the other one. And we do this to help open up the chest here. In camel pose, we're all about opening up through the chest. You're going to press your hips forward as you lift through the sternum, gazes up. Notice there's a straight line from your knees up to your hips. So keep pressing those hip bones forward. Then perhaps taking the hands to the heels if that's there for you, but it's okay if it's not. If not, keep your hands to your low back. Imagine a string holding onto your sternum. It's pulling you upwards. So not just back, we want to be lifting up. No crunching in the low back, and we avoid that by lifting through the chest. Breathe here. Support the low back and slowly rise up. Good. Release the block if you had it between your thighs. Drop hips to heels. Close your eyes. You can stay right here if you'd like, or I'm going to move into child's pose, bringing my knees wide and bringing forehead down to the mat. This posture can bring up a lot of different sensations, so whatever comes up for you is normal. Slow your breath. Let it pass. All right. Come on up into seated, moving into a seated wide leg forward fold. So get your legs as wide as you can. Got to lift my legs to get them there. Flex the toes in, knees and toes point straight towards your ceiling. I'm going to keep lifting through the chest here. So you can stay upright here, or if you'd like a little more sensation, start to hinge forward at the hips. Always staying lifted through the chest, drawing the shoulder blades together behind you. Now I've got my block here to place my forearms on, but you certainly don't need it. Whatever works best for you, but just be mindful if you start to notice that your gaze comes down and you're rounding through your back. Instead, I want your gaze out in front of you. Draw the chest forward, squeezing shoulder blades behind you. Another option here that may help is to take a rolled up towel or blanket or something and place it under the glutes. That will help you hinge forward a little bit easier in this posture. Really getting into the inner thighs here. All right, go ahead and release. So now we'll move into fire log or double pigeon. You'll take that left shin, place it in front of you, and then the right sits on top. So shin bones are stacked on top of each other. Flex all 10 toes in. Sit really nice and tall here. You can stay upright or place your hands out in front of you, keeping the sits bones connected to the mat. Again, drawing the shoulder blades together behind you, chest stays lifted. Now this posture has always been a challenge for me. So for me, my feet are not quite all the way over to my knees and thighs. Sometimes if you're a little more flexible there in your hips, you can bring those feet all the way over on top of the thighs. So again, always finding what your body is ready for today, honoring and respecting that place. All right, go ahead and release, and then we'll switch sides. So now the right leg is on bottom, left on top. And you may notice that each side sits differently. Certainly does for me. Flex your toes in towards the shins, sitting nice and tall again. Keeping the glutes firmly pressed into the mat. Perhaps you walk your hands forward, leading with the chest and collarbones rather than with your head. And even though we're not working hard here, well, maybe you are, but regardless, we still want to stay with our breath. Those same long, slow, deep breaths, helping our muscles receive the signal that it's good to be here. All right, go ahead and release. Now moving into cow face, you're going to bring the right knee in front of the left. Really tuck that left knee behind the right. Move your feet out of the way so that you can sit down between your feet, flexing the toes in. Now we're going to stay right here for just a few breaths, and then we're going to move with this. So if you need to put something under your glutes, you can. However, we're about to roll back. So place your hands on the front of your feet, grabbing onto the pinky toe side, roll onto your back. So right knee is still on top of the left. Lift your feet up away from your body. Now press your feet into your hands as you use your hands to push down on your feet. I've heard this called angry heifer. It can feel pretty angry there in the hips, depending on how open you are. Go ahead and release. Rock on up into seated, and then we'll do the other side. So left knee in front of the right. Really tuck that right knee in behind the left. Move the feet out of the way. Sit down, flexing the toes in. So we begin by sitting really tall here. Take your hands to the front of your feet. So grabbing on in the front, wrapping around to the pinky toe side. And then as you are ready, go ahead and roll on back onto your back into your angry heifer today. Again, keeping the legs crossed, but lift the feet up. Push them into your hands as you use your hands to press down on your feet. And breathe. Good, release. Go straight into happy baby here. So taking hold of the base of your feet, drawing the knees down towards the ground, tailbone down. Maybe add a little rock side to side here if that feels right to you today. Our supine twist today will be with eagle legs, so we'll start by crossing right over left, goal post the arms. Move your hips over to the right a little bit, and then drop your knees to the left. Gaze over to the right. If this is too intense for you, you can unravel your legs and stack your knees. Good, release back to center. And then cross left leg over the right. Shift your hips over to the left here and drop your knees to the right. Chin over the left shoulder now. Breathe. Good. Release back to center. Pull your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze here. Make yourself as compact as you can. And then as you're ready, go ahead and release into your Shavasana for today. Work your tailbone down, shoulders down the back, palms up. Let your toes roll out. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Please stay in this space as long as you can allow for yourself today. Namaste.